Welcome back, children. Let us continue the same chapter which we had started in our previous class, and the chapter it was Kaki, chapter number 6. Today we are going to continue from page number 85, and I will start teaching from para number 4. Okay, so please pay attention and try to understand the chapter. The guest had eaten, the family had eaten. Both guests as well as family members had already eaten their meals. The help had had their meals. Even the helping people, those who were there, they also had eaten their meals. But no one thought of Kaki. Only little Ladli felt both sorrow and surprise at her parents' behavior. Everybody were fed, all were fully eaten their meals, but no one thought about Kaki, who was all alone in her room. Only the little girl, Ladli, thought and felt very sad that why her parents had done such a way, how they had behaved in such a manner. She was quite surprised with such a behavior which was shown by her parents towards to Kaki. Why hadn't they fed Kaki? Why hadn't Kaki been allowed to eat before the guests had been served? She was quite very surprised to find it out that why Kaki was not given the food till now, why she was not given the food before the guests were served. Ladli had hidden her share of puris in a basket for Kaki. In this way, as she loved Kaki so much, she was very close to Kaki, the Ladli girl, little girl Ladli. She was very, very close to Kaki, and that's why she had saved little share of puris in a basket for Kaki. So this is it was found to be here, children, how the little girl had saved a share of food, share of puris, because she knew that Kaki might be desperately longing to eat, as she had great deal of interest and love and greediness towards to the especially the varieties of foods whenever it were being cooked in any time, any occasion in the house, as it was the celebration time going on. Lots of delicious food it was cooked, isn't it? So Kaki was very much longing to eat all these food items. That is why when little Ladli found that Kaki was not served, that is why she quietly and not giving any knowledge to others, she had saved and hidden some puris for whom? For Kaki in a little basket. It was 11 in the night. Rupa was fast asleep in the courtyard. Ladli had been unable to sleep. The basket which he hid the puris lay by her side. Now already the night hour, it was deep night hours, all around 11 o'clock in the night. Till now Rupa had already slept outside in the courtyard, and Ladli, the little girl Ladli, had not gone to her bed. She was not finding it at all easy to get sleep. The basket which she had hidden the puris was just close to her. She had kept it very near to her. When she was convinced that her mother was fast asleep, she picked up her basket and walked towards Kaki's room. In this way, when she realizes that her mother was fast asleep, so very quietly she picks up the basket and walks towards to the room where her Kaki was sleeping. Kaki lay in her room. She realized that everyone had gone to sleep after eating. Kaki all alone was. She was there in the room, and the Ladli little girl knew it very well. All the other people had already gone to sleep in their own rooms after eating. Her stomach was churning with hunger. At this time, Kaki was feeling very hungry. That is what it is meant here by her stomach was churning with hunger. Churning with hunger means she was feeling very hungry. That's what it is here. Understood. Her heart was filled with anguish, isn't it? She was feeling very desperately in anguish in state at this moment. All of a sudden, she heard a voice. Get up, Kaki. I have brought puris for you. Suddenly, Kaki happens to listen a whispering voice. And the voice was saying, Get up, Kaki. I have brought something to eat for you. I have got some puris with me for you. This is what the voice said. Get up, Kaki. I have brought puris for you. Kaki recognized Ladli's voice. And Kaki was also very close to the little girl Ladli. At once she was able to realize that this voice was no other than whose voice? Little Ladli's voice only. She was delighted when Ladli gave her the puris. When Ladli gave her puris, she was feeling very, very happy. Has your mother sent these? Kaki asked. Kaki asked, did your mother, all these puris have been sent by your mother? This is what she asked. No, this is my share. Who said? The little Ladli said. Kaki pounced upon the puris. Pounced upon means she happens to very greedily and in a quick manner she stretches her hand towards to puris. When Kaki had finished the puris, Ladli asked, Kaki, have you had your fill? After the puris were finished, after Kaki finishes all the puris, once again the Ladli happens to ask Kaki, did these puris fill your stomach? Was it sufficient for you? All these puris were sufficient for you? This is how she asks to Kaki. Just as a light shower often makes the heat worse, the few puris had merely wet. Wet here means made sharper. Kaki's craving and she said, no, my daughter, go to your mother and bring some more. This is how it was found here by little girl Ladli that this much of the share of puris were not sufficient for Kaki because she was feeling really very hungry, and this much of the puris it was not sufficient enough to fulfill her stomach, isn't it? That is why she says, no, I am not that much fed properly. So you go, my daughter, you go to your mother and ask and bring some more puris. This is how Kaki asked to the little girl Ladli. Ladli said, she is asleep. If I wake her, she will be most annoyed. She is already slept. If I will go and wake her up, then she will become very angry. Annoyed means to get very angry. Take me to the place where the guests were eating, she told Ladli. Then Kaki says, then take me to that place where the guests were eating. Lead me over there. This is what Kaki said to Ladli. Ladli took Kaki by the hand and led her to the dining area. Kaki began to devour the leftovers from the leaf plates laying scattered all over. As soon as Kaki was brought to that place where the guests had eaten their meals, what does Kaki start to do? She starts eating all those leftover foods which were spreaded all around here and there on the plates. The plates were scattered on the floor, and whatever the leftover foods were found to be there on the plates, leaf plates, So from there only she started to eat the leftover meals. Just then Rupa woke up. In the meantime, Rupa, she woke up. Okay? She did not find Ladli by her side. When she woke up, she found that Ladli was not near to her. She looked around and saw Ladli standing beside the used leaf plates. As soon as she wakes up and puts her eyes all around there, what does she notice? She notices that Rupa was standing just beside those leftover leaf plates. Then, to her horror, she saw Kaki picking crumbs from the leftovers and eating them. Rupa was stunned and ashamed. Right there in the spot, just near to Ladli, what does Rupa notice? Rupa notices that Kaki was sitting down on the floor and she was picking up those crumbs and pieces of leftover puris and other food items, and she was eating like anything, And by looking this sight, Rupa was stunned, surprised, and also at the same time she was ashamed. She lifted her hands towards heaven and prayed for mercy. At that time, she realized her mistake. What a mistake that she had committed by not giving any food to Kaki. That is why she is lifting her hand towards to the heaven and asking and praying for mercy. For mercy means for any kind of mercy. Whenever we commit some mistake, we ask mercy, we ask sorry from those to them, those from whom we have committed that mistake. Here she had committed the mistake, Rupa had committed a mistake. That's why she's asking a mercy from God. How cruel I have been. Today was my son's engagement. Hundreds of people feasted. What a mistake I committed. Today it was my son's engagement. Hundreds of people came and took their meals. Right? Hundreds of people feasted, but I could not feed an old helpless woman. How it was a great mistake committed by me. Hundreds of people came here and took their shares with full stomach, but how I was not able to feed an old and helpless woman. Rupa lit a lamp and went into her storeroom. At once she just lit her lamp and goes towards to the storeroom. She piled a tray with food, took it to Kaki, and after filling a tray with full of food on it and brings it to near to Kaki. Kaki, come and eat, she said to her with tears in her eyes. She came to Kaki and said to her, Kaki, please come and eat this food. She said to her with tears in her eyes. I have committed a great blunder today. Forgive me, I have committed a great blunder. Blunder means mistake. Whichever the mistake which is very seriously done, that is called a blunder. Okay, silly mistake. A blunder means oversight or error, whatever mistakes we make. Okay, today forgive me, please forgive me for my such type of mistake. This is how Rupa here asks sorry in front of Kaki. It was already midnight. The sky was filled with stars, just as innocent children forget a rebuke. After receiving a gift of sweets, Kaki ate, forgetting everything but Kaki. She was very much kind-hearted person. Only her interest, only her desire, only her longingness. She was very, very fond of only the delicious food. She did not want anything else beside a ready-made delicious food in front of her. If she was given very good and tasty delicious food to her, then she would be really very happy. Beside this, she did not ask anything else from anybody. The sky was filled with stars, just as innocent children forget a rebuke. After receiving a gift of sweets, after getting such delicious food, whatever that anybody had done to her, whatever the cruelty shown to her, she at once forgot it, all those things, whatever it had been done to her by anybody. After all, she had got the very delicious sweet dishes now, like a child. This type of behavior is like childish behavior. At once the children are very angry. Whenever they are given the sweets, they are very happy. Similar thing it happened with Kaki also. Earlier she was so angry, isn't it? Because she didn't get her food and share in proper time. But now, at once she is getting so much of the delicious food and she is once again very happy and forgot all about those. And now she is very happy. Kaki ate forgetting everything. Good wishes flowed from Kaki and Rupa delighted. So much good wishes that Kaki said for Rupa. She blessed, she prayed, and good wishes she said to Rupa, and Rupa was very delighted to get such good blessings from Kaki, and the sight of her relishing the meal. Relishing means enjoying in the greedy manner, how Kaki was enjoying those very delicious meals. By looking this sight, Rupa was also feeling very happy and delighted. So this is what we come to learn, children, in this topic, Kaki. We have completed the entire story. I hope you might have enjoyed the story. Then in our next class, we will be performing the various question answers and other remaining works. Okay, this much for today. Thank you.